For years, nuclear energy kind of felt like a technology from the past, right? But now, as the world is scrambling for clean, reliable power for, well, everything, from our homes to the AI revolution, a nuclear renaissance is happening. So today, we're diving into the company that's sitting right at the heart of this huge shift in the US, Uranium Energy Corp. And this quote, man, it just nails it. The whole speculative, someday idea for uranium, that's over. The game has totally changed. It's not about hoping to find some, it's about proven production. The question is no longer if we'll need more uranium, but who can actually get it out of the ground to meet this insane new demand. And right in the middle of all that action, you've got UEC. They have very strategically maneuvered themselves from just a company holding assets into the largest active uranium producer in the entire United States. They are, for all intents and purposes, the main character in America's new energy story. Now, UEC isn't just succeeding on its own. It's being pushed forward by some seriously powerful tailwinds. I mean, think about it. The AI economy's hunger for electricity is just off the charts. The US government has officially reclassified uranium as a critical mineral, which is a huge deal. And on top of that, the ADVANCE Act is pouring major federal support into the nuclear industry. These aren't just small ripples, These are giant waves transforming the entire landscape. So with all this momentum, how is UEC actually getting the uranium out of the ground? It's not as simple as just digging holes. They're running a really sophisticated hub and spoke strategy. Let's break down exactly what that looks like. So their whole operation revolves around 3 key production hubs. Up in Wyoming, you've got the Irigaray plant, which acts like the central processor for satellite sites, like Christensen Ranch. Then, down in Texas, the Burke Hollow mine is just about ready to go online, adding another massive spoke to the wheel. And their acquisition of the Sweetwater complex, that gives them a 3rd huge production center. It all works together to create this powerful, interconnected system. And listen, this isn't just some plan on a whiteboard, it is happening right now. In just the first quarter of fiscal 2026, the restart at their Wyoming facility has already churned out nearly 200,000 pounds of yellow cake. And that's the concentrated uranium powder that's the very first step to making nuclear fuel. The wheels are definitely turning. And when you zoom out, the scale here is just immense. UEC now holds licenses for a total production capacity of 12.1 million pounds a year. Let's be really clear about that. It makes them the largest licensed producer in the country, and honestly, it's not even close. Okay, so we've seen the assets, we've seen the production numbers, but a huge part of this story is the who. We've got to look at the management team's playbook, because what they did set all of this in motion years ago. You know that old saying in investing, right? You don't bet on the horse, you bet on the jockey. Well, in this case, CEO Amir Adnani and EVP Scott Melby are the master jockeys here. For the last 10 years, while pretty much everyone else was just trying to survive, these guys were playing 4D chess. And their whole strategy just clicks when you look at this timeline. During that brutal bear market for uranium, they didn't panic. Nope, they went shopping. They bought up world-class assets for literally pennies on the dollar. Then they showed incredible patience, keeping all that valuable uranium in the ground, just waiting for the price to recover. Now that uranium is trading well over $80 a pound, they're slamming the accelerator, right as the market is catching fire. And all that patience, all that smart buying, well, it resulted in an incredibly strong financial position. It's what we can really call their unhedged bet on the future of uranium. The first thing that jumps out at you is the cash. After a recent offering, the company is sitting on nearly $700 million in total liquidity. That is a massive war chest that gives them unbelievable flexibility. And here is where that financial power becomes a huge advantage. On one side, you have UEC, completely debt-free and fully funded for everything they want to do in 2026. On the other side, you have the typical miner, who's often just buried in debt to keep the lights on. This kind of financial freedom gives UEC a massive, massive competitive edge. So let's just put it all together. You can see the full picture right here. They are 100% unhedged, which means they get maximum exposure to rising uranium prices. They have almost $700 million in the bank with zero debt. They hold the largest production capacity in the entire country. And now they're taking the next big logical step, vertical integration. Yeah, that last point, that's the next chapter in their whole strategy. They are not content with just being a miner. They're making moves to control more and more of the nuclear fuel cycle. Okay, so to get this, we need a quick definition. After that yellow cake, the U3O8, is mined, it has to be converted into a gas called UF6 that happens before it can be enriched into fuel. And that conversion step, believe it or not, is a huge bottleneck in the supply chain. And that bottleneck is exactly what UEC is targeting. They've launched a new venture, UR&C, to get into the conversion business. It's a brilliant strategic move to control more of the supply chain, capture more profit, and protect themselves from any potential delays.
So why is this so important? Well, for one, it lets UEC capture more profit from every single pound of uranium. It also protects them from those processing bottlenecks. And here's the kicker. It positions them to become the only fully integrated domestic supplier, from the mine all the way to the converter. This is exactly what new technologies like small modular reactors are going to need, a reliable one-stop shop for American nuclear fuel.
All right, so after looking at the operations, the strategy, and the financials, let's just distill it all down. What's the key takeaway for an investor or a trader? What's UEC's market position right now? Right now, UEC is in what you'd call a pivotal show-me phase. Production is up and running, the strategy is moving forward, and now the market is just waiting for that next big catalyst, the first major sales contracts coming out of their Wyoming operations. That's what's going to turn all this activity into actual revenue. Now, you might look at their Q1 results and think, wait a second, 0 revenue? What's up with that? But this goes right back to their playbook. It was a totally deliberate, high-conviction move by management to hold onto their brand-new inventory because they're waiting for even better prices. It's just another bold bet on the future. So when you boil it all down, the picture is crystal clear. UEC has a massive resource base, a spotless debt-free balance sheet, and a management team that has proven again and again they know how to play the long game. For anyone looking for direct exposure to American uranium production, UEC has basically made itself the #1 option. Which really leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. As artificial intelligence keeps demanding these almost unimaginable amounts of power, and as countries are prioritizing energy independence, is a reliable domestic supply of uranium becoming the ultimate strategic asset for the 21st century? It's something to think about.